the camera store is a cornerstone for creators in Calgary and for a few decades now.
The idea of having literally instant gratification, of having a print, something tangible that you can hold, and it just has a different feeling. But the results that often come out of phones are very polished, sometimes quite filtered looking.
So Canadians spent $20 billion online in 2024. A quarter of that locally instead of online. That would be $1 billion injected into the economy.
And I've upsold people and I've downsold people, right?
Yes.
Finding
the right fit.
Them.
We have just over 50 stores broadcasting about 80,000 items in inventory. Our mission is to make it easier for consumers to find out what's for sale from local independent storefront.
Welcome to the show that celebrates our city, its people, and the stories that bring us together. From local businesses to community events, hidden gems to big ideas. If it's happening in Calgary, you'll find it here. I'm Sean. And I'm Kim. And this is Wake Up Calgary. Calgary is a place of confluence where the Bow and the Elbow rivers meet, a place where the opportunities naturally come together. On Wake Up Calgary, we embrace the spirit of connection. We honor and acknowledge the land in which we work, live, and share stories, which is Treaty 7 territory. This is traditional homeland of the First Nations and Métis people. Today, we are part of this treaty land, and we are grateful for all it has to offer. Okay, living in the backyard of Banff, or Banff is in Calgary's backyard, we are literally one of the most beautiful places on earth. And Calgary is a city that loves to capture its stories from behind the lens to building that next big tech and even through the flavors that bring us together. Today's episode has all three. First, we sat down with Evelyn Drake and Dave Paul, yes, two first names, from the Camera Store, a Calgary institution that has been serving creators for decades. Then Sean is going to dive into the future of shopping with Alana Baxter, founder of Fitzba Technologies. And our foodie host, Linda Garson, takes us to Aloha Restaurant, the taste of island flavor right here in Calgary. This is Wake Up Calgary. Welcome to the show, Evelyn, Dave. I love it.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Well, I recently had the opportunity to work with you, Evelyn, with a local event here in Calgary that kind of blew the socks off. It was a cool food event.
Yeah,
anything with food. Oh my gosh, the amount of food there was incredible.
It was great. I didn't go hungry, that's for sure.
No. In fact, I left with popcorn and spices and brochures for vegan chicken.
Ooh, nice.
Because Sean is vegan, and I'm eating it, and I'm going, this is the best. Now, I want to get a bit of background on the Camera Store. I know that the Camera Store is a cornerstone for creators in Calgary, and for a few decades now. And so give us a little bit of background.
Yeah, so the Camera Store opened its doors in 1996, so we're just approaching the 30th year. It's owned by Peter June and Julian Ferreira, and what they really wanted to create was the best camera store in Calgary or in Canada or maybe the world, I don't know. But it's a really special place because they don't just sell gear, we sell all kinds of things, and we're really passionate about photography. Everybody on the team, a lot of them are photographers themselves or creators, and it's really a space where you can get information. You can go and obviously find all the gear, all the things that you can find in the nooks and crannies of the Camera Store. And we really pride ourselves on providing that for both online and people that can come into the store in Calgary.
It's really been sort of a source of community for photographers.
Yeah.
We used to have all the Calgary Sun and Herald photographers would come in for coffee and upload their stories.
It's kind of a cool hangout spot.
It was kind of like the cheers of the photo world.
Yeah. And now, of course, we do put a lot of emphasis into the events and programming that we do. Dave and I run the YouTube channel for the Camera Store, which is really where we get the foothold for being able to tell people all around the world about the Camera Store. We have a pretty big following. And we also have a really special area, which is our photo book nook. And we have the biggest selection of photography books in Western Canada. We're actually one of the top 100 in the world in terms of a photo book selection. So we have some very special elements to the Camera Store that I think do make it the best camera store.
I absolutely agree on the having those cornerstones, having a place that people feel secure in going and asking questions.
Yeah.
Now, I have a theory, and it may be totally crazy, but the millennials and that top level of Gen Zs have all been raised in technology.
Yes.
And yet I'm starting to see them wanting to go back to the old cameras. They're wanting to touch things. Like my daughter got a Polaroid camera. And it's like, man, I wish I kept all my gear.
Right.
So where would you say somebody coming in and they're on this first step of a journey, they want to actually start expressing themselves through photography and through video? Because, I mean, you guys have evolved with
video
with all of that.
Big
but where would you say, where's the starting point for most people?
Yeah, well, I think what you're talking about with the Polaroid cameras and instant film, the idea of having literally instant gratification, of having a print, something tangible that you can hold, and it just has a different feeling to it than a digital file that you have on your phone, your computer, your camera. But I think there's a lot of opportunity for young people, especially, to learn the magic of what photography is. You know, capturing light on a tangible medium has some magic to it, quite frankly. And we've really been trying to foster that and continue with it. So we still carry a ton of film. We have lots of developing chemicals and all the accessories to do your own development. We also have a partnership with Flick Film, which is based in Alberta, about 45 minutes south of the city in Longview. And they actually make chemistry combinations. They make little packs. They also re-roll 35 millimeter film and a few other formats. And so it's one of our product lines that's definitely growing. And I think there's a lot of places where people can go with their experience with film photography.
I mean, Flick Film is owned by a guy named Dave, so you can't go wrong.
Oh, another Dave. Yeah.
So I think you totally trust them.
Yeah, shout out to Dave and all the Daves.
But we are seeing a lot of these millennials who are raised on cell phones, and these cell phones have cameras to them. And so they've been taking more photos than most of us took growing up because it would cost money every time you took a picture. But now we're seeing these cameras, they want a different experience. They don't want to use their cell phone for everything. And they realize also, too, cell phones have gotten really quite good, but there's limitations what they can do. And then you start getting frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
Realize I really want the shallower depth of field. I really want to shoot more sports or action. My cell phone is okay, but I hit the wall really early on with the cell phone. And so I start investigating what's the next level? Where do I go from here? And so that's where these new generation cameras and everything else, you really get this bug and can create content for life.
Yeah, there's also an interesting trend that's quite surprising with compact cameras. So, of course, we all have smartphones pretty much. Most people do. And so you have a camera with you all the time. But the results that often come out of phones are very polished, sometimes quite filtered looking. A lot of that is getting better. But I think that there's a desire to have something that's a little bit more natural, a little bit less filtered.
Yeah.
So we're seeing a lot of young people have a desire to have a compact, dedicated camera. On eBay, it's hard to even get some of these old used, like early 2000s little compact cameras.
A lot of money that
all the compact cameras that we stock at the camera store, they are hard to keep in stock. So this is a very interesting trend in digital photography, and obviously we're here for it, and we're really excited to see where that goes, and if people end up kind of climbing up to the higher end.
That kind of took manufacturers by surprise because they're all discontinuing all the point shoot cameras, thinking cell phones are wiping them all out. But then there's this huge wave that we can't get certain cameras in stock, and we're ordering them tons and tons of them.
And I think that I had an interesting conversation with our graphic designer here. She is 23, very talented, and she said, "We've got to get a photo of you for the new show because we can't do AI because young people can tell what is AI." And I go, "But I look way better in AI." And she goes, "Yeah, that's why we can't do it. We need real you."
We want authentic.
And I think that comes back to actually taking time to... I'm horrible. I will be the last person that ever takes a picture of anybody unless you want from here to here. This is usually my shot. I don't know how it does it. It looks right when I look at it. It looks right, but no, I'm not so good that way. With all the competition online, right? Everybody's shopping online, everybody ordering the food online, everything's online. Why come to the camera store?
I think there's certain things that you need to actually get your hands on. I mean, things like camera bags, right? You can shop online and you can touch but you just can't touch them. You can't feel them, see how they fit on you, how they feel on you. But also you get in-person knowledge, right? You can rely on a review online, but do you know it's a real review or not, right? I mean, who knows,
there's
right?
lots of false information.
Right? And people come in and they're like, well, what camera do you use, or what camera strap do you have? And I said, I have this strap. I use this strap. Here's my feedback.
You pull it out of your bag.
Yeah, I did. I have it many times, right? But this is my feedback on the product that you're thinking of buying, right? So it's real time, real world.
I would also argue that the camera store does have a really easy to use online experience. We're on the shop app, easy to use on your phone as well. You can order if you want to, a $10,000 camera package or a $500 camera package right on your smartphone easily. And we ship quickly, which is great. But the other side of it is the support. So we have a chat that's built into our website. So during business hours, you can pop on there and ask questions right away, and our team will help you out over chat. And you just don't get that experience when you're shopping on some of the bigger box platforms that are out there.
So you get guys. Every day there's a phone call, and you see a salesperson go to the counter. And he says, "Okay, you're having trouble. Let me grab that camera and let me walk through the menu system with you." All right, and I don't think you can do that very often.
No, I don't think so. And the other argument that's been for some of these bigger online platforms is like return policies. But we have an excellent return policy. People can return their equipment if it's not right for them. Maybe it's not the right fit. Maybe they need more advice within 2 weeks of their purchase. And if there's something wrong with it, it's defective, they have 30 days to return or exchange for store credit. So I think we make it really flexible and also competitive with some of the other online options that are out there.
Well, my guess is not a lot of people return because they're getting so much, information up front, support up front, and they feel confident in what they're purchasing and that they have a team behind them. So
100%.
We have a very low return ratio, again, for an online retail establishment and then in store as well. But I would agree with you there that I think compared to a lot of other business models, we have very low return.
As a long-term salesperson on the sales floor, right? It's always been sell the right product. And I've upsold people and I've downsold people, right? Because
finding the right fit.
Them. Because if money's no object, you don't need the top-end camera if you don't need it, right?
We talk a lot of people out of some purchases like
don't tell the bosses that we're downselling sometimes, right?
No.
It's finding the best fit, because those become customers for life. People are like, I want to buy these 3 lenses. I'm like, why don't you start with one first? You're just getting into it, right? See what you resonate with, and see if you want a bigger telephoto. See if you want a wider angle, but figure that stuff up first, and we'll be here for you when you're ready.
Yeah.
Amazing. Evelyn, Dave, thank you so much for your time today. And again, this is why it's so important to find the stories of our local businesses and support locally, and why buying local matters so much. Save yourself some time. Go to the camera store, get that camera, get out, enjoy our backyard. But this is just the start. For even more insider tips, you can join Evelyn, Dave, and myself over on wakeupcalgary.ca for the go-to gear and best advice for new photographers. And then up next, we have Sean sits down with the Calgary innovator who's rethinking how we shop local. Looking for a getaway close to home? Discover Azridge Estate Hotel, a one-of-a-kind resort nestled in the foothills. Whether you're enjoying a weekend escape, a luxury spa day at Flourish, the Live Well Spa, or celebrating a special occasion, Azridge offers breathtaking views, exceptional dining, and the perfect place to recharge. Experience this beautiful boutique luxury just 15 minutes west of the city. Visit AzridgeHotel.com to plan your next stay. Amazon may be convenient, but what about keeping the dollars right here in Calgary? That's where Fitspa comes in, and I'm joined now by founder and CEO Alana Baxter, or Alana Banana, right here in studio. So thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
I'm super excited to have you here.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm excited to tell you what we've been up to.
Well, what have you been up to? First, tell me about you.
Yeah, so I'm just a girl from Nova Scotia. I was actually born in Ottawa, but grew up in Nova Scotia, came to Calgary to go to school and never left. And I've been working in startups ever since. I guess two things. One is that during my, university years, retail jobs gave me the flexibility to pay my rent and stay alive while, going for a university degree. And on the other flip side, I ended up pursuing computer engineering and working at startups and really wanting to solve problems.
And so you did solve a big one.
I just kept looking at the world and thinking there's got to be an easier way to find out what's for sale in the storefront that's down the street. And it's frustrating that nobody had solved that problem yet. So why not me?
Why not you? So why don't you tell me a bit about that? So your company is called?
So my company is called Fitspa, and it's an app on your favorite app store or fitspa.com. And our mission is to make it easier for consumers to find out what's for sale from local independent storefronts.
I love that. So great. So you said that we have to have yes, must answers.
Yeah.
So you said yes, must answer both, and we should, right? But how does that guide your decisions?
So when we started the company, I felt really strongly that no matter what solution we pursued or business model, that not only did we have a responsibility to answer, is this feasible and technically viable as a business model, but then the answer to that needed to be yes. But then the second important question is, should we do this? And really looking at the impact of can we make a positive impact, and can we make sure that we don't make a negative impact? So many businesses take off and then you realize, oh, shoot, that creates a lot of garbage. Right? So really wanted...
the forward-thinking piece of it. So if Calgarians really embrace Fitspa, what changes do you think we would see in our community over the next couple of years?
Well,
and I think generations too, not, years, but what are we teaching the next generation about this?
So to me, there's really two parts to this. There's the economic side, and the economic impact is, so Canadians spent $20 billion online in 2024, last year.
Canadians spent $20 billion.
You got it.
Dollars.
Yeah. And there's a place for online shopping, I'm guilty.
$20 billion.
And that's $4 billion in Calgary alone. So imagine if we all just bought a quarter of that locally instead of online.
Yes.
That would be $1 billion injected into the economy, of which a high percentage of that gets redirected right back into the local economy. It creates jobs. So that's the financial impact. The other side of this is the social impact. And we're so lonely today. And so storefronts not only sell stuff, but they also create safe public spaces where people can go and pursue their interests and talk about, if you're a skier, you can go into a ski shop and talk about, the weekend ski conditions, and those outlets are getting fewer and further between as we communicate with AI, and we do so much of our transactions online. They're truly becoming transactions. And so that part of it is, not only can you find great products that you can't find online, and probably get the right thing that fits properly the first time.
But what I love most is that you're bridging the gap between both, right? The consumer and the entrepreneur and the small business, the local business, right? And
it's got to be together.
Right. And how beautiful is that? There's a beautiful dance that goes with that. How many people do you have on yours?
So today we have just over 50 stores broadcasting about 80,000 items in inventory. And our monthly traffic on the site and the app is over 20,000 site views per month. So already just focusing on a small community and a small number of shops, we're proving that the people need this and they want it.
So what kind of stuff can I find?
Oh, wow.
Just give me like your top 5.
Yeah. Well, so we're actually focused today on stores that sell to women aged 30 plus.
Okay.
Those are the most interested shoppers that really care about shopping local. So we decided, why preach to somebody else when we've got this very interested group already that loves us. And so we focus in a few verticals, lifestyle and wellness, home and beauty, and fashion.
That.
Yeah. Because really, aren't the favorite things that you wear the things that you bought and there's a story and you know that they came from a designer in Toronto that, and somebody encouraged you to try it on and said, oh, and that would look so great with, a little jean vest or, things like that you just can't get that online.
No. Wow. Any last thing you want to share with me in regards to?
You mentioned what was the behind the scenes of the name.
Yes.
And I told you that part of the fit in Fitspa came from that originally we were thinking of focusing on clothing fitting to help people find great fitting clothes and to encourage stores to bring in extended sizing. And so although we've expanded from just clothing, I went to Egypt shortly after starting Fitspa. And I was in this temple looking up at this beautiful, amazing mural and bawling my eyes out because I was so emotional. It was like amazing. And asked our guide, what's that character up there? And he said, oh, that's Ba. That's the soul. And so
I have goosebumps on my legs.
Yeah, the name didn't, Fitspa kind of almost came in a whisper. But when I walked out of that temple, I was like, Fitspa fits my soul. And so that is really our guiding light.
Oh, I love that. Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. Thank you so much for inspiring us with your vision. Oh, so beautiful.
Thanks, Sean.
That's not the only part. Why don't you head over to wakeupcalgary.ca and you don't want to miss the rapid fire where we have insights. But that's not the only part of this story. So make sure you head over to Wake Up Calgary for the rapid fire insights, including what Calgary could look like if we all shopped local. But first, let's talk food. Our foodie host, Linda Garson, takes us to Aloha Restaurant, where flavors and community come together.
Well, hello, Johannes. Here we are at Aloha Modern Kitchen.
Yes.
So, tell us about this restaurant. It's so beautiful.
Thank you. So we started this project about in March 2024. We did 8 months of renovation. This is the old Gaucho barbecue spot. Me, my wife, father-in-law, mother-in-law, sister, parents, kids, we're all, we did this renovation by ourselves.
Really? How long did it take you?
It was 8 months of hard work. We did everything from floor to ceiling. My sister-in-law freehanded the sky on the thing with the aerosol can. All the artwork in here is done by my good friend Stu Stoley out of Hawaii, Maui, called Soli Aloha. He's a really good friend of mine. So all the artwork in here has meaning to me. There's my favorite places in Maui that I used to go. My surf break, my local surf break. So everything in here has a meaning, has purpose. And yeah, it's just a passion project.
Wow, but what gave you an inspiration to start an Hawaiian restaurant in Calgary?
Living in Hawaii. So I was living in Hawaii for 2 years, training under Chef Sheldon Simeon, and as well as the Millhouse Maui plantation. So it just grew from, I went there once as a vacation, as a family when I was 19 years old, and I just fell in love It's just something that spoke to me.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, wonderful.
Yes.
And how about the menu? Well, tell us a little bit actually about the history, because you worked in different restaurants in
Yep.
Calgary, haven't
Yep.
you?
So I was in like Michelin star restaurants in Arizona. Then I transferred my visa to Maui, Hawaii. And when I moved back, I just Googled actually the best restaurant in Calgary. And that's when Foreign Concept came up. That was when Duncan Lee, Jin Hee, Michelle Knopp. So it was a heavy hitting crew in that kitchen. So I managed to get a job there and just worked as hard as I could and was there for several years. And Duncan was a great mentor. He was always willing to just let you take control and really push you to be the best chef you can be. So I'm forever grateful for him. And then we kind of started, that's when we started to Corey at a Avenida market at that time.
Aha, right.
And when
All falling into place.
so, yeah. So then we had COVID happened. So Duncan actually decided that he wanted to shut down to Corey. And that's when I asked him if I could buy the equipment and do the own thing. So that's where actually the J Spot started, at a fresh and local market.
J Spot, my case in Calgary for dirty fries.
Yeah.
Don't tell everybody. It's my secret.
Yes. Yeah. So that's we've been open at J Spots for about 6 years. Around the 5th year is when I kind of knew I wanted to do my restaurant. And I always knew I was going to do a Hawaiian restaurant. So then we kind of started looking around, and actually one of the vendors approached me and said, "Hey, I just bought this spot in Kensington, but my realtor just has this spot that he just wanted to show me. He said it would be great. But he's like, I already signed my lease in Kensington, and I know you want a thing, so go check it out." And that's when we stumbled upon this, and I knew right away this was it. We've looked at probably 4 or 5 other restaurants, and when I walked in here, I knew like this was it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So tell us about the menu. I might be the only person in Calgary who's never been to But so tell us about the food.
So we wanted to do authentic Hawaiian. We didn't want, I wanted to really bring true authentic flavors that you're not getting at the resorts. You're getting at the mom and pop shops. You're getting at the local spots where the locals eat. Living there for a couple years, it was, you figure out what's tourist and what's local. So the big thing, like our poke, for example, we fly it in fresh overnight, break it down, and it's just seasoned simply with oyster sauce, soy sauce, onion, green onion, and that's it. There's no mango, avocado. So our poke bowl for lunchtime,
It's tuna, is it? It's tuna fish.
Yeah, it's a ahi tuna that we use. And so it was really bringing authentic flavors to Calgary, because like you said, you're the only person that hasn't been to Hawaii, but so many Calgarians go to Hawaii. So I felt like I had a good niche market that I could really tap into with this restaurant.
Wow.
Yeah.
What about other dishes?
We have a chow fun noodle. So that's a steamed noodle. It comes from Sheldon Simeon. You can't find this noodle anywhere in Calgary. You can't find this recipe on the internet. Trust me, I looked.
Sexy.
And I had to reach out and say, like, even his cookbook, the recipe was tweaked a little bit. And I said, this is not turning out. So he's like, no, you're missing a step, but it's a crucial step. So this noodle is steamed and then cooled down, and then we hand cut it, pan fry it soft, and then we actually introduced the bean sprouts, the fried bacon, so there's a lot of texture, and then oyster sauce, soy sauce. Then it goes to like Maui ribs, which are like a play on a Korean rib.
I like the coffee.
Yeah, like the Calbee ribs. So they're marinated for 3 days, and then we char them on a char broiler to get that crisp, really umami smoke flavors in there. And then there's Huli Huli Chicken, which is a staple in Hawaii. They have roadside Huli Huli stands that
you
use.
can't wait. Have you got some for us to try?
I do, absolutely. Yeah. So the Huli Huli Chicken is something that their street food, kind of. It's over fire, over charcoal, and Huli Huli just means to turn. So you turn.
Wondering, I thought maybe it was the Hazuki. That's
Yeah. So, and then, like I said, classics like Spam Musubi, where we have hot dogs in 7-Elevens. Hawaiians have Spam Musubis. Everywhere you go, there's Spam Musubis. That's what they eat all the time. So I had to bring that dish in. So a lot of familiar dishes that they're used to, and then some that they're not.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, let's try this.
Yes,
chicken.
absolutely.
And maybe the noodles too.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
I
So you'll get that really crisp skin. And there's actually, we season it with a garlic salt before, a house-made garlic salt that before we hit it with the oven. So that like you can get that crisp, you can hear that. And then especially when you slice right into it. And then the thighs, we leave the skin on because everybody loves a good crispy chicken
That's
skin.
my jam.
Yeah.
I'm going to smell as well as look.
Oh, you can, and that smell of the smoke.
Yeah. The smoke, and then there's a sweetness to the glaze, maybe.
Yeah,
or the
it's
salt.
the marinade that kind of like, because we marinate it for 4 days before you even get a touch. Before it even sees anything, it's got to sit in that marinade for 4 days. And it really penetrates into the drum. Like a lot of places marinate it for 12 hours or something. And you get that surface. But like ours, you get it all the way through, right down to the bone.
That is moist and juicy
Mm-hmm.
and completely soft on the inside, and yet in contrast to the crispy skin on the outside is absolutely perfect.
I love playing with textures.
Yeah.
Textures to me, I think it's so important when you're eating food to get crispy with soft, freshness with sharpness. It's all just tantalizing the taste buds.
It's there. It's certainly there. And with something like this, and I'm thinking, what would I want to drink with?
Yeah.
Well, barbecue is not difficult. With red wine.
Easy pairing, yeah.
But it depends how sweet the sauce is. And this one is nicely balanced. It's not too sweet. There's a little sweetness, but not too much. Because that's the killer if you're going to drink wine.
Yeah.
You can get away with a little more with different drinks, cocktails and beer and things.
Absolutely.
But with this one, I thought something from the southeast of Italy, from Apulia.
Yeah.
Which is where the grape that would be Zinfandel in America comes from. But I think to have the original one, the Primitivo grape from Apulia, is just the barbecue wine.
That's it.
With this, and it goes perfectly. Just perfect pairing with this.
Beautiful.
We know that.
Yeah. Yes, we do.
Wow. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, my dear.